Alright, what's good? So, as you can tell from the title, on this video I'm going to be talking about the top 10 must-have units in Anime Adventures Update 17.5. Now keep in mind, all of this is my opinion, so don't go flaming me down in the comments. Alright, but before we start the video, I just want to tell you guys that I forgot to include Saber in this list. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys, Saber is a very good unit, and if you should probably get her because she's a very good ground unit. Other than that, hopefully you guys find this video enjoyable or helpful, and if you do, I would appreciate some support because I'm really trying to hit 5k by the end of this year. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so the first unit on the list we have is going to be Homura. Now Homura's DPS isn't insane, although she is mainly used for her support ability, which is of course going to be the time stop. Once maxing out Homura to her final move upgrade, which is going to be the final measure, her time stop cooldown literally becomes so low it's ridiculous. Like, you can basically just spam it. And she time stops for a pretty damn long time, which is why she is mainly used for tournament, story, raids, Infinity Castle, and basically every mode in the entire game. And also you can place 3 of her, which is very useful for tactics in tournaments and such. Although keep in mind that Homura is currently unobtainable as she was from an event, although you can get her from trading. Now I would highly recommend getting the Divine trait on Homura. Some people would say unique, some people would say divine. I would say divine because it still lets you place 3 Homuras, which is probably going to be better for tournament and such, because let's just say you have a Homura maxed out with auto time stop on, and then some units leak that you could possibly kill but you don't have enough time, so you can place another Homura, time stop them, and kill them. And she's used for many other tactics and whatever. But if you get unique on Homura, do not ever roll that off. Like, that's also very great. I'm just saying divine's better in my opinion. Some people would say unique's better for other reasons, but yeah, Homer's the first one on the list. Now, this guy, the second one in the list, is gonna be Guts Berserk. This guy, from the time he was released up until now, is literally still broken. Like, bro, he is a full AoE bleed unit, and if you pair him up with units that have bleed amplification like Power or Shalta, the dude genuinely just becomes a monster. He becomes broken. And he is mainly used for infinites and raids or portals, which is quite explainable because he's very expensive. But other than that, he is a must-have unit, and he is also currently obtainable through the summon, and he will never become unobtainable. Now, Guts' DPS 1 maxed out is 20,000 without counting his bleed damage. And keep in mind that he's hybrid, full AoE like 40 range. His bleed does 65,000 damage over 4 ticks, and if you add in the bleed amplification, it basically doubles that damage, which makes him crazy. And his max placement is 3. And of course, as you can tell, the best trait to have on this guy is unique. If you have unique, he is a literal demon. Do not take unique off for anything else. Now, as for the third unit, it's going to be another unit mainly used for his support ability, which is going to be Law. This guy's DPS isn't that crazy at all, really. Although his ability, which is Shambles, is what makes people use him for basically every single mode in the entire game. What his ability Shambles does is that it teleports enemies back to half of his range. Meaning the more range Law gets, the further back the enemies get teleported. And this ability also works for every mob, including air units and bosses, although he himself isn't hybrid. Now, what this basically means is that, let's just say there is a boss in Law's range, and Law has 40 range. When you use the Shambles ability, Law will teleport, not rewind, he will automatically just, in 1 second, teleport every single mob in his range back to half his range. So if his range was 40, they will get teleported back 20 range. And that is what makes him usable for every single mode in the game. And keep in mind, you can only place 3 of them, so probably unique or divine is gonna be with the best traits on him. Now the fourth unit is going to be a unit from this new update, and it's going to be, of course, the new secret portal unit, Daizo. So before getting into the unit himself, let's just say he has an ability called No Longer Human, right? Which is genuinely broken. It's a new type of ability in the game, since what it does is that any mob with any special traits will get these traits taken away from if you use the ability when they're in his range. So if you didn't really understand what I mean, as an example, let's say there are 4 air units in his range. Once you use the No Longer Human ability, all of those air units in his range would become ground units, and the ground units would be able to hit these enemies because they became from air to ground, like just normal. Not like they became normal mobs. And if there's a mob like a fire mage and you use the ability, he won't be a fire mage anymore, he'll just be a regular mob. The cooldown of this ability is also very low, which makes him really great. Now getting into the unit himself, one maxed out he is going to be a full AoE unit with around 30 range, and he would have 320,000 damage with 10.3 SPA. Now keep in mind, this guy isn't hybrid. Although for a meta support unit, his damage is pretty great and he's very good, especially because he's full AoE. Plus his DPS is around 31.5 thousand and you can place 3 of him, so overall he's 100% top 10 in the game. Now once again, the best traits on this guy is probably either unique or divine, and it's debatable because divine makes him do more damage and you can still place 3 of him, so you can use the ability in multiple places in the map, and unique, just you know what it does, you know what I mean. Now as for the 5th and final unit from this new update, it's going to be Chuyo, or the new hill unit. Now Chuyo doesn't really have any special ability, however he or she is a very good new hill unit. Like, they 100% are better than Metal Knight in my opinion. They replaced them. One maxed out Chuyo deals around 215,000 damage with 8 SPA and 43 range. Plus she isn't as expensive as Metal Knight and you can place 4 of her, while Metal Knight you can only place 2. That alone is enough to replace Metal Knight, so I would highly recommend you guys getting this new hill unit if you don't have one or you're planning on getting a hill unit. Alright, moving on from the new update units, we got Gilgamesh. Now this guy is a 3 placement monster. Once maxed out, he would be doing 450,000 plus damage with no trait, with a huge circle AoE, 35 range, although his SPA is going to be 12. But he is hybrid, which makes him really good. The only downside to him are, as I said, the SPA, which is 12, and that he is very expensive to max out. Like, he's 120,000 to max out. Although other than that, I would highly recommend having. Alright, so now we got the 7th and probably most expected unit of this video. It's of course going to be none other than Usopp. This guy is genuinely just crazy. Like, I'm not really going to get into him in detail of what he does because I'm pretty sure all of you guys know what he does. Although I am gonna say that he is the best boss killer in the entire game and the best overall defense unit in game. Especially if you have unique on him, which would genuinely make him crazy. He would carry you in basically everything except infinite, because I'm pretty sure you can replace him with other units in infinite. But like for Infinity Castle, yeah, especially Infinity Castle, if you have unique Usopp, you can probably get to the leaderboard, bro. Like, he's that crazy. He's that crazy. Alright, so next up on the list, we have got Koichi Echoes, which is debatably the best slow unit in the game, since this guy slows both air and ground enemies at the same time. And his slow effect is slower than other slow units. Like, what I mean by this is that his slow effect makes enemies move slower than the slow effects of other units in the game. So let's just say, like, if you were to take Emilia or Emily, I don't know what their name is, I forgot, alright, and use her for slow, and you compare her slow effect to Koichi's slow effect, you would realize that when Koichi slows down the enemies would walk slower than if they were to get affected by Emily or any other slow unit in the game. And I would highly recommend having the sniper turret on him, as he doesn't have crazy range, plus his damage is trash. Like, do not use him for damage. If you're looking for a damage unit, do not get Koichi. But if you're looking for a slow unit, he is top. In my opinion, he is the best slow unit in the game. Alright, so now we have another probably expected unit, and it is of course gonna be Griffith, because even after the nerf, this guy is still crazy. And now he basically made Escanor a meta unit again because of what he now does. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, although I'm not gonna get into that right now. Other than that, this guy is basically used for everything, which is obvious, or could be used for everything since his buff version is crazy. And as for the 10th and final unit, it's going to be Ains. Now, the reason I didn't put Dio over Heaven in this list is because Ains replaces him in every single aspect, basically. He is just a better overall unit with a crazy ability, and he's full AoE with huge range, and that's not it. That's not the last thing about him. Every 50 kills, he spawns this monster with an insane amount of HP, like more than triple his damage every 50 kills. And if you think about it, 50 kills isn't really much. Plus, if you have unique on this guy, he is basically the best unit in the entire game. Like, it's not even a debate no more. If you have unique on this guy, it's over. And keep in mind, you can only place one of him, so 100% the difference between divine and unique for him, for the people that you can only place one of, is insane. This guy is gonna be crazy with unique. Now, before I end off the video, I do want to talk about 2 honorable mentions. First one of them being Stain, because this guy is still broken to this day. His blood curdle ability is just so good, like it can't be replaced, bro. And as for the second honorable mention, it's going to be Metal Knight, since he is still a meta hill unit and a very good one. It's just that the new hill unit, Chuyo, is better in my opinion. And that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did find this video enjoyable or helpful, I would appreciate some support, since I'm really trying to hit 5K by the end of this year. And other than that, good luck, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.